Welcome everyone, this is Brimstone Burner, and in this video we are going to do a quick run through of the abilities of the agents available in Valorant as of recording. So first off, we're going to start with Breach. So Breach has this first skill and it goes through the wall. It basically throws out an explosive shot. However, the catch is it takes quite some time before it can explode and it goes through the walls. So if I fire it now, see, it takes some time before it explodes. Again, boom. Although it does take some time, the advantage is that it does pass through walls and deals a huge amount of damage, which is totally insane. So your Q here is basically a flash that goes through walls. If you shoot your flash through a wall and enemies see it, then they will be blinded. Let's try it at this dummy here. See, he got blinded, and if he got blinded, and let's just say that that's an enemy after being blinded, then you pop out here and then you shoot him. Shoot. Alright. Now your third ability is charged move. So you see that bar, you can make it go as far as you want, as far as it goes, like so, or you can just, it depends on you, short range or a farther range, as far as you can go. Okay, so the effect of that is enemies caught in that line of tremor will be dazed. Now when you say dazed in this game, dazed would mean that they are dizzy and cannot aim properly, because yeah, they're still staggering from the concussive blow that they got from that tremor. So let's see what happens to that bot. Boom, see that halo thing around its head? That signifies that it's dazed. Now your ultimate here is basically a grande size of your E. Boom, 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 boom. So it basically sends off those rippling waves forward, and it knocks the enemies up and puts them in a dazed status. So it would be easier for you to shoot them down, because their return fire wouldn't be as accurate as if they weren't hit by the daze. Now most players would utilize Breach's Q and E to, well, basically all of his skills, in order to get an upper hand on the situations within the field. So for example, it is confirmed that there are enemies right by this corner, and then you charge them up, then they get hit, and after they get hit, it's now your chance to shoot them off. Same goes for the ultimate. So for example, that range is site A, and you know the enemies are there, and then you're an attacker, so you can do that, and then enemies hit would be dazed, and then most likely they would be popping out, and then poof, or wherever they are, just so that you can set up the scenery, the scenario, for a better chance at winning the round, or at outmaneuvering your enemies. So let's move on to Brimstone. Now for Brimstone, his first ability is a stim beacon. Throws it out by clicking. You can throw it out by clicking the left click. See those arrows at the sides? That signifies that you are having that combat stim buff. Now when you have that combat stim buff, you gain rapid fire. So let's just wait for it to be away. So right now, this is my normal shooting speed. Okay, but if you have the stim beacon, see, it's faster. If it doesn't seem as fast, turn on the sound, and then you'd hear that it's faster. Okay, so I'd suggest that you be careful where you set up the stim beacon, because enemies within the stim beacon are also benefited by it. So if an enemy Brimstone would be throwing a stim beacon right there, and I'm in the area of its effect, then I would have that rapid fire as well. Now for your Q, okay, basically you fire off this shell that explodes into a pool of fire. Units in it will be taking a lot of damage, DPS, damage per second. See, there we go. The shell bounces off once or twice, and then voila, the molly magic. The catch to molly though, you must be careful where you shoot it, because you or your allies can also get hurt. See that? That stings. Now some players, after planting the spike and just before it's about to go off, they shoot molly into the spike, so that, for example, the spike is right there. The spike is right there. I can't defuse the spike, right? Because I'm gonna die because of the molly. And that gives us enough time, gives the enemy enough time to let the spike go off. Now, your E here brings out a tactical map. This ability is for the setting up of smoke bombs. Now, in order to choose the area where you want to drop your smoke bomb, you just have to press E and then left click. For example, we want to drop it here, and then to drop it, all those assigned targets in here, the smoke bombs will drop in those areas. So after selecting them with left click, you press the right click button, and then those are the smokes. Okay, so one catch about the smokes is this: you have to be careful on how you place the smokes, because, for example, we're headed towards that way, we're going there, and the enemies, let's just say, are over here. Okay, don't drop the smoke bombs here, because when you do that, you and your allies can't see where the enemies are. The whole premise of the smoke bomb is to not get detected by the enemies. So what you should do is, for example, there's a door here or a passage like this one. You place the smoke bombs right here, like this, so that when the smokes are down, oh, I should have put it closer, so that when the smokes are down, I enter the smoke. The enemies won't know in which part of the smoke I am in. So I could just pop a molly over there and then shoot them like poo 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 poo, bam. Okay. Some players just put the smoke screen wherever they are. That's not really helping out the team. The whole premise of the smoke screen is to block out the enemy's vision. Now, basically, the ultimate of Brimstone is you deploy it by just putting the same circle, you choose it the same way that you choose the smoke bombs. So, for example, I choose here, and then boom, there's an explosion from the heavens that drops down on that area, which deals a lot of damage. But also, again, be careful, because you and your allies can get caught in the blast. So most players usually use the ultimate in the spike area, where the spike is, or where they think the enemies are hiding, to snuff them out, if not to kill them. Now, the area, the tactical map, is limited as to where you are. Again, that's just a quick reminder. See, this area wasn't available earlier, but now if you do this, it's, well, you get the point. Boom. So now let's go to Cypher. Now Cypher skills abilities are first the trapwire. You can make them stick horizontally or vertically. As long as it sticks, then you're good to go. Now the trapwires, when enemies pass through that, they get revealed, their location gets revealed. And then if they do not shoot the trapwires, they basically get dazed, like they as if they were hit by Breach's skill, as I showed you guys earlier. Now if you're playing as Cypher, try to put the trapwires in a way that the enemies won't be expecting them. Although it does turn invisible, there is a way to spot them. So let's just say that you're up against a Cypher and you're trying to walk past the corner, and then when you do get by that corner, try slowing down, and when you do hear an electric buzz or a buzzing noise, try to look at your surroundings. Most likely there's a trapwire waiting for you. So the best way for me would be to try to work around it, but most of the time you won't have time to try to work around it. So if it's placed this low, just jump over them, or if it's placed too high, just crouch and then crawl past it. Because if you shoot it down, then the trapwire will be missing from the enemy Cypher's mini map. So that would give away your location. But if push comes to shove, then best shoot it and then try to eliminate the other team anyway. Now, for the second ability, we throw out this one. This device, you can detonate it at will, or if an enemy passes through it. See, it becomes invisible, like the trapwire. So if an enemy passes through it, it springs up this cage. It's kind of like a smoke bomb, like Brimstone, but not. It doesn't last as long as Brimstone's smoke bombs. So, and if an enemy walks through it, it will give you an audio tune that would tell you that an enemy has passed through the Cypher cage. Now, one of Cypher's most useful abilities is his camera. It's a camera that sticks most of the time, almost everywhere. And then, for example, I put it right there. After you deploy it, it becomes invisible. But even though it is invisible, it is very much visible in the minimap. So if you're playing up against Cypher and you see a red blip with a camera sign on it, try to look for the camera, because Cypher has his eyes on you. Destroy Cypher's eyes as much as you can, as quickly as you can. But if you're playing as Cypher, try to protect your eyes while you're trying to spy on the enemy team. Now let's just say that this is site A, and I'm going to site B for more coverage, okay? Because I'm the only one left. But let's just say that this is site B, but when I do reach site B, there's not a lot of enemies right here. So I might as well check and go back to site A, right? But going there would run the risk of you getting shot from behind or encountering the enemy. So why not just rely on your camera? See that? To access your camera, you press E again. Anything within the field of vision of the camera can be seen. Now, what's good about the camera is that it doesn't just give you vision, it also reveals enemies. Now, for example, there's an enemy right there in the middle of the crosshair. The camera can shoot a tracking bolt at the enemy, and if it does hit, that enemy's location is revealed, and it recharges, assuming that the enemies don't shoot it down first. See? Okay, and to exit the camera, you just press E again, or whatever button you assign your third ability to. Now, I can't really show you the ultimate of Cypher because he requires a corpse. When I say he requires a corpse, we really need a dead body. So it's either you get to kill an enemy, or your ally gets to kill one. Now, for example, you killed an enemy and their body is right there. He got shot in right in this point, and his body is right there. You have a limited time to throw your ultimate at his body, and when you do, the locations of all the remaining uh, agents in the opposing team would be revealed. Their locations, where they are, and what they're doing. However, you only have a limited time to do so, because if enough time passes by, you can't use your ultimate on that corpse anymore, because it's kind of like the trail has gone cold, the body's too cold to use the ultimate or something like that. And you can see the timer that will appear on the enemy body and on the enemy's body if your ultimate is available. So if you press X and nothing happens, or use your ult and nothing happens, then that means that the timer to use your ultimate on that corpse has long gone by. Now let's go to Jett. Now Jett's first ability is basically a smoke screen like Brimstone's, blocking side. Okay. Now a passive of Jett here is that usually when all the other agents jump, they basically fall right down. But Jett can hover for quite a bit if you press and hold the jump button, like so. That gives you more mobility and allows you to outmaneuver or give you a better placement against your enemy. Now your Q, your second ability, is basically just a spring up, just like that. Now the catch there is you can also use your hover ability when you use your Q. So it's like this, and then up. That gives you much more hang time, and you can gain information on the location of the enemies or shoot them while you're hovering, like so. However, yeah, that the spraying is not that quite accurate. See, it's spreading, but at least you get the movement. Now on to the third ability. It's basically a dash forward, but you can also use your ability to dash on to other directions. So for example, you're going forward, you press your third ability, you dash forward. You're going backwards, you press your ability, you dash backwards. You go left, ability, you go right and use your ability, and that's basically it. Whichever direction you're going and then you press E, that's the direction where you will be dashing. Now Jett's ult consists of 5 floating knives, so you can either shoot it one by one, like so, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, or you could just click the right click button and then shoot all of your remaining knives. So you could shoot everything immediately, or you could do it like 1, 2, and then boom, or it depends on you. Okay, so that's basically Jett's kit. Now let's go on to Omen. Oh man. So his first ability is basically teleport, and you decide where you want to teleport by dragging your mouse up and down, like so. The farther, but it has a limited range. So for example, like that, you left click after choosing, and after a short duration, you teleport. Boom. Now your Q is a blind that can go through walls. So enemies that it passes through gets blinded. They basically don't see anything. See that? That's the problem. That shows that they're blinded. They can't see you coming in from the sides or wherever you're coming from, and then you're free to shoot them wherever you want. Now this skill, the third ability, requires a bit more than the other skills because it requires mastery of the map and it requires quick thinking because you're going to throw a shadow ball from where you are towards a direction far from you or near you. So to go farther, you press and hold the left click button, the left mouse button, and to pull it nearer to you, you press the right click button. Now, for example, I want to put here. After I decided to where to put it, I press E. Okay, so if you do enter into there, it's basically just another smoke bomb. Now, I said that it requires more skill because you have to be able to you have to be able to know where you want to place it. Okay, now so if you don't know where you're gonna put it, you don't know where you placed your shadows, that's gonna be a problem and you just wasted your ability. So it just takes a little bit of practice and getting to know the map and knowing where to put it depending on the situation. Now your ultimate, basically, first what it does is it disrupts the minimaps of the opponent, so they won't know where their allies are, they won't know where they are in the minimap, and they won't know where you are. And the second thing it does is that it summons a specter in the target location, and if you don't cancel your ability, you're going to teleport to where that specter came out. So if a specter comes out and you get to look around you, and if you see a lot of people, you can cancel by pressing your ultimate again so that you can cancel. And this is a global skill, so it brings up a tactical map. So let's say I want to teleport here. There goes the specter, and I want to cancel. I press my ultimate, I'm staying here. But let's try to really teleport. Let's say I want to go here. I just let the timer go, and then I teleported. This is very useful, especially when you try to bait your enemies into thinking that you're going to B, but you're actually going to site A. Okay, so let's just go back. Boom. And that's basically Omen. On to the next, Phoenix. Now, Phoenix is a very interesting, one of my favorite characters, agents in Valorant. So his first ability is basically raising up a firewall. You can shoot it straight or you can make it curve by clicking the left mouse button and then dragging it to the direction where you want it to curve, either to the left or to the right. I'm gonna show you. Like that, or like this, or you can just shoot it straight up. Okay, see? It can go straight or it can curve. It's up to you. Now, your second ability is a curveball. So it can either go left, or it can either go right. No. See, I purposely didn't dodge or properly throw the curveball to show you what not to do. Some players, especially the new ones, just throw their second abilities wherever. For example, I throw it like this. I'm blinded too. So that gives the opponent who didn't look at the flash a better chance at getting my head. So what you want to do is, for example, you're gonna go to around this corner and you're gonna walk from here. So what you do is, to make it curve to the right, you press the right click button. Boom. And then after that, pam, 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 pam. And vice versa. If you're going the other way, boom. Careful not to blind yourself like this, as well as your allies, because you're gonna be putting your team in danger when the danger could have been averted. Now the third ability is basically a grenade, just like Molly. It bounces once if it can, if you click the left click button, and deploys an area of fire. You can throw it like that, or you can just lob it near you like that. Now, one thing unique about, before we go to our ultimate with Phoenix, one thing unique about Phoenix is that he can heal himself with his first and third abilities. So for example, I got damaged by an attack of an opponent. I put up a wall, I step inside of it, and boom, we're getting healed for a certain amount. Now for example, I got into a fight, then bam bam bam, I got damaged, I hide here, and then I can throw the third ability towards the ground, and then I can get healed. Okay, so that's another thing to consider. How you use that to the best of its advantages, that's up to you. Now for his ultimate, you see that timer? When it drops to 0, you go back to that place where you used the ultimate in the first place. Okay, or for example, you used it, and then upon turning a corner, you get shot. Then you immediately return to your spot. Notice the animation that he always has to flick his collar. Enemies will be waiting here, waiting for you to come back. And when you do, they shoot you in the head. So you have to make sure, but that doesn't happen every time. So you have to make sure that where you leave this spot, it's in a relatively safe area, so that when you do get shot, or when the timer runs out and then you go back, you're still safe. So that's pretty much Phoenix's kit. On to the next. Go with Raze. Raze's ability, first ability, is the boom bot. Basically, you throw off this robot, which goes forward and bounces off the walls. Any enemy agent that it finds in front of its cone, it chases down, and when it gets close enough, it explodes. However, the catch there is that enemies can shoot it too. So you just have to be able to make sure that they're shooting your boom bot, and then you're shooting at them while they're shooting at your boom bot. Now, your second ability is a satchel charge. See that timer above it? When it turns 0, it explodes. Or you can press it again to make it explode. See that knockback? It's an ability of Raze. You don't get damaged if it's your satchel. And then you can use the blast to give you a bit of a leverage. See? Like that. And E, your third ability is a grenade. Upon exploding, it releases something like mini grenades that also explode by themselves and also deals damage. Everything about Raze deals heavy damage. Okay, all of her abilities deal heavy damage. Boombot can one-hit the opponent, so does her Q, her satchel, and the grenade, and especially her ultimate. So let's see how it goes. You can throw it at a far distance, or we can just lob it near us, like so. Now her ultimate is basically equipping a rocket propelled grenade launcher, an RPG. You fire it and then boom, that's what it does, dealing heavy AoE damage. So it depends on you how you want to utilize your skills to nuke out the enemies, like, and then boom. A lot of people use that skipping technique to get to increase their mobility with Raze, and upon reaching the enemy, they just use their ultimate. Catch here though is the ultimate takes 1 or 2 seconds first before it can be armed. So you have to watch out for that. Up next is Reyna. Now Reyna's first ability is throwing out an eye. It can pass through walls, and enemies that look directly at the eye are blinded. All they can see is the eye. They can't see you anymore if they look at it. So what they can do is that you can shoot it. The eye can be destroyed by gunfire, but for Reyna, if you're playing as Reyna, use your eye ability to blind them, and most likely they'd be shooting at the eye, not at you. So while they're shooting at the eye, shoot at them. So this is a special and unique ability of Reyna, because Q, both second and third, are closely linked to each other. Now for Reyna, every kill you get, a soul orb drops. Now if you have a charge for your second and third abilities, you can either use it to heal you or to go intangible. If you use it to heal you, you use your second ability. But if you want to use it to go intangible and invisible, you use your third. Let me show you. So for example, I press Q, there, it's healing. Now the catch with healing is, in game, if you already have 100 HP, then the healing that you get from absorbing that life orb becomes your armor. That's why in the pistol rounds, Reyna players, those players who use Reyna, don't really buy armor, because if they can shoot off an enemy, they can just use that over healing in order to heal themselves and to get extra armor. Now for example, it's an orb, right? If you go out of vision, then the healing is cut off. That's another thing to consider. Now again, there's an orb, and I use it like this. During this period, with the violent hands, it's you're invisible and you can't get hit by bullet fire. So most players use it. Well, it's basically used to reposition yourselves to get a better angle at the enemy. Okay. Now for her ultimate, Empress. While Empress is active, you don't have to choose whether you want to heal or you want to go invisible, because if you do kill an enemy, it instantly heals you. See? But you can still use the E, your third ability, to go intangible. See, as much as you want, as long as you get kills, as long as there's an orb, you can eliminate your enemies. And another thing about Empress is that you have increased firing speed and reload speed, but I can't really show you because it's infinite ammo. Let me turn it off. For comparison, let me show you. That's the normal speed, and the reload speed takes a while. It doesn't take a while because Empress is still active. Let's compare it to when Empress is not active. See, there's a difference. It might not seem so, but there is a difference in the speed. So let's go on to Sage. So Sage's first ability is basically racing up a wall. So for example, your teammates have planted the spike there. you can seal off the path of the enemies by putting up a wall like so. However, this wall can be destroyed like that. But if they do destroy it, then you'd know that most probably they will be going through this path that they destroyed, and it doesn't last forever. It only lasts for a limited amount of time. Now, for Sage, for example, you're in a situation like this. You can't really shoot over the boxes without revealing yourself, right? So you can use the wall to elevate yourself like so, and then shoot them. Pam, 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 pam. Depends on how you do it and how fast your flick is. Then you would be able to do a lot more plays to outmaneuver your enemies. Now for your Q, your second ability, you just throw this orb, and wherever it lands, it crystallizes the floor, and all units passing through it are slowed. Again, I want to remind you that all units are affected by it. So if I were to stand on it, or your allies were to stand on it, they would also get slowed. E is basically a heal for your allies or for yourself. To heal your allies, just target them and then left click, and then if you want to heal yourself, just immediately press the right click button. And your ultimate is basically a revive or resurrect. So if you see your ally dead there, just lock onto them, target them, and then press the left click button and you will revive them. Your duty is not over. Something like that. So Sova. For Sova, his first ability is a recon drone. So for example, we don't know if the enemy's there, so we send out this falcon. We set out this drone. You can see. And for example, you see an enemy and then you shoot it. See, you can see beyond the wall. But the drone can be shot down. But if it does get shot down, and that would reveal the location of the enemy. Okay. Your second ability is the shock dart. That's what you hear from the memes and whatever remixes that there are out there. You can pull back to make it fly as far as you can, or you can just shoot it undercharged. Okay. Basically explodes upon reaching the point of impact. So I can reach the wall, pressing it at maximum, or I can recharge. It's up to you. Now your third ability is a recon bolt. So if there are enemies within the vicinity where the bolt is located, they will be revealed. However, the enemies can shoot it down to prevent the recon bolt from revealing their locations. Now, the shock dart and the recon bolt can both bounce twice. So for example, you want to make it bounce once or twice, or you reset it back to 0. You just press the right click button. So if you want the arrow to bounce once, right click, choose the recon bolt once, and then right click once, and then charge up. See, and it bounces. Same thing goes for the shock dart. Didn't reach. Boom. If you want it to bounce twice, and then there it goes. Same with the recon bolt. Stuck there. Anyway, now for the ultimate, it basically fires off this laser beam that can go through walls. So for example, you get to reveal them, right? Those are the enemies. It fires. It fires thrice. Those huge bolts of blasts, those huge blasts thrice. And it goes to also, if enemies do get hit as well, they will get revealed in the process and take a lot of damage. Oh, that's a lot of damage. And now for our final agent, Viper. Now for her first ability, you throw out this pod that deploys into pod poison. Enemies or units that pass through that pool of poison get damage per second and become vulnerable. The vulnerable status means that they would be taking a lot more damage from fire. If you shoot at them while they're vulnerable, they would be taking that much more damage. Mind you, it damages you and your allies, so be careful where you put it. See, I'm vulnerable and my HP is dropping like a rock. Now for your Q, you deploy your smoke pod and you activate it, creating this smoke bomb, just like Brimstone, but slightly different. When you want to use it, see that bar above your skills? That shows your toxin levels, which is fuel for your skills, for your second and third ability. So if you want to use your second ability, press Q, and there you go. Enemies that go inside this orb would be vulnerable and would be getting decay. And if your fuel goes low, then your ability disperses. Now for the E here, what you're gonna do is basically you're going to set up for a curtain. It's gonna be a wall that passes through terrain, and when you do use it by pressing it again, puts up this curtain that when you pass through it, you will become vulnerable. But for allies and you remain unaffected. The moment you turn off your abilities, your second and third abilities, then your toxin fuel level will be regenerating on its own. Now for your ultimate, you're gonna create a cloud of smoke. Cloud of smoke that's poisonous. So enemies that and even allies that go inside here, except you, will be having their HP decaying and be vulnerable. But when they do leave the smoke, then their HP will be regenerating as fast as they can. Now, if you don't return inside the smoke, cloud of smoke, then it will disperse. But if you remain inside, then it can last for as long as you want. While this ultimate is active, you can still use your second and your third ability. See? And that's it. So guys, that's pretty much what the abilities of our Valorant agents have for now. There's an upcoming agent to be released. Her name is Killjoy. We will be doing a run through of her abilities when she does become available here. So I guess that's pretty interesting for all of us, and it's up to you how you will utilize each and every skill together with the skills of other agents in order to secure your victory. So if you like the video, hit the like button and drop a subscribe to my channel, and follow me on Facebook as well. The link is in the description below. So I will be seeing you in the next video. Peace out guys, and take care.